Welcome back to another video. Today, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably gonna be a little bit of a yap session, just talking about, some personal things going on in my head. I'm really not one to speak too much on my life or go into detail on it. I talk about a little bit here and there, but sometimes you gotta get a little bit vulnerable, unfortunately, even though it's not something I'm comfortable with. I feel like I made this platform to kind of get some stuff off my chest and just get other people's opinions, because I know other people going through it as well. But anyway, today we're talking about the feeling of loneliness. It's something I was dealing with for the past couple months. I've overcome that now because I have a different mindset and look at it from a different viewpoint. But I don't want to do too much yapping in the intro. Let's go ahead and say that yapping for later. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, loneliness. It's interesting because as you get older, you start to realize, wow, you think about things that, as you're older, you think about things that you never would have thought about when you were younger. Being lonely, feeling alone, never would have thought that feeling would ever hit me, Because when you're young, you just going through life, you just enjoying it, you just having the best time. You realize that your tight-knit circle or people you thought was friends, you just like, damn, I didn't realize how much time I was spending with these people and how distracted your mind is because you got so much going on. Even if the friend group isn't so small, even if your friend group isn't, even if you don't really have friends, when you're coming up, you got the people and you got the kids in sports, you got extracurricular activities, you got school, you got so much going on, siblings, family that you're always around that keeps your mind distracted, and you never really feel these feelings unless you just didn't live that life, because some people didn't. But for me recently, I went through something last year that really hit me, but I didn't feel the effects of it until later on, because I was like, bro, I still got to get to this paper. I got to keep going. I got to get these bills paid. So it didn't hit me until later on in the year, till it was almost like I had an adrenaline rush and I had to slow down, and I finally slowed down. And then that wave of different emotions came storming in, and that was from I really start feeling the loneliness around October. From October till 2025 till about beginning of February 2026. And obviously, like I stated, I haven't completely overcame it, but I do have a different mindset on it. And like I say with everything, take it one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, and you'll get through it, especially as a man, because you experience things a lot different than women. I always say that women are born with their value, men have to earn their value. And with men, I always had this thought, with a man who's on the side of the road with a sign begging for change, and there was a group of 10 women, there's probably maybe one or two women that would actually help. They'd probably walk past him and ignore him. But if there's a very attractive woman on the side, especially if that body look good and she got a nice looking face, even if the body ain't that looking good, don't look that great, but her face looked good, and there was 10 men, I'm telling you, 90%, I'm not gonna sit there and say 90%, but I would say at least half of those men would give that woman some money. And that's just a difference. And that's just, a slight example. But when it came to that feeling and overcoming that, it was a process. And for those men out there who are feeling that, you kind of got to go on your own journey and figure out what is it that'll help you get over this feeling that you're having. Like NBA Youngboy said, I like being alone, but I don't like feeling alone. I'm definitely a homebody. I like to stay home. I have a job that is a work from home job. So I feel like the reason that everything started to slowly hit me is because the lack of human interaction that I actually have in my life. Um, and the downsides to a work from home job. A lot of people love work from home job or talk about how they want one so bad because you just roll over and clock in and you get to work. There is the good sides, but for me, there's the bad sides. Even for an introverted person like myself, the lack of human interaction, I didn't realize how, I guess, important it was until I don't have it. This is the second time I've had a work from home job, but the first time I did have one, I had roommates. I'm not gonna say closer with my friends, but me and my friends were hanging out a lot more at that time. So it never crossed my mind. And at that time I was in a relationship. So I had plenty of human interaction, even if I wasn't getting it through work. But now that I'm doing my own thing, I'm single, my close friend group, they all doing their own thing and not talking as much and as often. And phone dried in the Sahara Desert, which when I say dry, it's like, yeah, people hit my line, but it's not people I actually want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody has experienced that where, you say your phone dry, you got motion, but it's not motion you actually want. It's people that, you chat with on occasion, or you set that expectation that, yeah, I'm not really interested in you like that. We just cool, and they still want to hit your line, or you just playing the game because you're bored, that type of thing. But yeah, that's kind of the situation I'm in now. But I'm trying to become more comfortable being alone. And that's really the ultimate goal, because I feel, especially as a man, you gotta be able to walk this path, grow on this path, and ultimately it helps you become the best version of you. Because like I stated earlier, men have to earn their value in this world. So a woman that's alone, I feel like she's choosing to be alone, or because at the end of the day, she can get, women love attention, and they can get attention from most niggas or some niggas, whatever the percentage is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're a woman, you're a woman, and you have that option. Why do you think women, why do you think women don't swipe right on a lot of men on dating apps? It's because a lot of women get on dating apps because they want attention. They're not looking for an actual nigga. They're not looking for somebody to get to know. They just want somebody to give them some attention. And then once they get bored of you, they on to the next, or on to living their life. It's as simple as that. So you as a man, you have to overcome this obstacle. And for me, overcoming that obstacle was the gym. The gym did help a lot. Getting out of the house, finding hobbies like mixed martial arts, getting into that, and just finding things that that don't make you feel alone and take your mind out of that almost depressive state of like, damn, ain't nobody trying to talk to me, ain't nobody trying to hang out with me, I ain't got no motion. I got family, but I'm not speaking with family every single day. And it's just like, wow, I'm truly alone. And then you start going into that deep, dark hole, that rabbit hole, where you're like, why don't my friends want to, make time to hang out with me? Why is nobody hitting my line first? Why does it always feel like I got to go out of my way to hit your line? And I did have some of those thoughts, but like I stated, I started thinking more positively. Like, at the end of the day, my bros are my bros. Those are my dogs. But I did have to understand and have a realization that, yeah, niggas ain't really going out of their way to reach out to me. Out of my close, tight-knit friend group, I would say the ones that actually go out of their way to reach out to me would be, it'd probably be 2 of them. But at the same time, I'm not also putting my best effort or my best foot forward to reach out to them more often or make plans. But what I will say is I do a decent job with making plans. It's not as often, but at the same time, I don't feel like that's being reciprocated. And I'm kind of battling that whole mindset. It's like, oh, okay. So if you're not trying to hang out with me, or you're not trying to make plans with me, or initiate those plans, why am I going to go out of my way to do that for you? And I battle those thoughts from time to time. And sometimes I just come to my thought process. It's like a teeter-totter. Come to that thought process is like, man, these my dogs. It is what it is. I ain't gonna think too much on it. They living their best life. They got their own shit going on. But I also, on the other hand, think, well, it's like, if you really fuck with me, it don't take nothing to be like, hey, I'm coming down to the city. Let's do this. Or, yo, we going out over here. Let's go do this, you know? So I'm still figuring that one out. I don't even know how to navigate that one personally. They do say you outgrow your friends sometimes. I don't feel like I've gotten to that point yet. I feel like I'm getting to that point with one of my homeboys. But the rest of them, I don't feel like I've gotten to that point. But back onto that loneliness topic. So what made it tough was already being a homebody, having a work from home job, not having much human interaction, and you just sitting in your apartment and your thoughts just like, and it's tough. It's not easy to not think negatively when you aren't doing things that's, I guess, keeping your mind distracted. And I'm very much a person where I do go to the gym. I do, read. I do my homework. I talk to people on occasion on the phone and shit like that, or I watch my YouTube. But most of the time, I will say I'm watching my YouTube, I'm watching my shows, or, I'm probably, meal prepping and things of that nature. But I don't really have too much going on that keeps me distracted, that keeps me kind of going, especially at that time. So I found myself on the couch just in my thoughts most of the time. It wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was not easy to be in a state of loneliness and then, go down this deep, dark, I'm not even gonna say depression, I'm gonna say hole, and feeling bad and feeling sorry for myself. And it's like, man, we gotta get out of this. Gotta get out of this. And for the men out there, and maybe even the women out there who are going through something like that, don't be afraid to seek help. Whether that help is you stepping outside your box and doing something that you wouldn't normally do, which is like an introverted person like me, taking yourself out. And by taking yourself out, it doesn't even necessarily have to be the club, but taking yourself out to do stuff that's fun to you and being comfortable hanging out with you by yourself. Like for me, I've been wanting to probably go to a club or go to some type of event or something like that. But when it comes to me, I've always had that cautious mindset, and going to events and clubs and parties by myself, I've always been very hesitant because I know how I am, and it's like, man, if some shit go down, I want to have my homeboys with me. I want to have somebody with me. So I've never 100% been comfortable going to events by myself. I'm more of a movies, dinner, mall type of person where I could go, or a museum where I can go to that by myself and have no issues. But there's definitely levels to it. For me, I don't think I've reached that level where I can do that just yet. But being able to step outside that comfort zone, or maybe you are more stubborn, like having just sitting down and having a conversation with yourself and realizing maybe you are the stubborn one. Maybe you're the one that's not reaching out to these people, and they've slowly taken a step back as they've gotten older. I had to slow it down for you, my fault. Thoughts are going, mouth is moving faster than my brain is processing. But yeah, I was saying, as they've gotten older, maybe they've taken a step back and realized, damn, I'm not getting that same eagerness to want to hang out with this person because they're not reciprocating that same energy. And maybe even take it to the next level where you may even need to talk to a professional. There's nothing wrong with therapy, especially all my Black people out there. There is nothing wrong with therapy. I know it's hard to ask for help, and you feel like if I get in there, I wouldn't even know what to talk about. But there is nothing wrong with therapy. I gotta say it for the people in the back one more time. There is nothing wrong with therapy. especially when you look at it from the viewpoint of, I need to get me right. I need to get me back to the 100% version of me. Because you know when you're not 100%. You know when something's off. But most human beings, we're almost raised and designed like we robots to push through whatever it is that we got going on, especially as men. Push through and keep moving forward, and it'll figure itself out. But when it never figures itself out, you start taking that unhealed trauma, undealt with emotions out on other people in your life. And it shows like a real bad side of you, because it's like, oh, I never actually took the time to deal with this. But loneliness, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's not a fun feeling. It's, like I stated at the beginning, something I never thought I would ever deal with. But as you get older, things change, man. Things change, and you never think twice about it when you're young. When your parents and the older folks around you tell you that these people may not be your friends forever. And I'm not saying that's my situation now, but I'm starting to have that realization that could be the case. Even though these are my dogs since middle school, man, since 6th grade, locked in with these niggas, probably 12, 13 plus years, locked in. But it could be the case where, then we may slowly start drifting apart, and they find their own group, and I slowly find my own. And it's hard to wrap my mind around that, because I would have never thought about something like that. But as days go on, I'm slowly starting to accept that if that is the case, it's okay. I'll be all right. And life will still continue to move forward. And I'll just have to adapt with the change. And it's as simple as that. And that's the same with dealing with women. While going through this lonely stint, I've had a different viewpoint when it comes to dating, and how, for me, starting off at the bat, I don't take no woman serious. I really don't. As time goes on, you may change my mind as a woman that I may be talking to, but off the jump, I don't take women serious, because it's just the day and age that we live in. People don't take dating or relationships serious. It's more of, what can I get out of this? And as a man, it sucks, because you are loved on certain conditions. And by that, I mean, if you aren't a provider, if you aren't bringing strength, masculinity, and leadership to the table, no woman's gonna want you. No woman's gonna want you. And the reason why I say a lot of women don't have to really bring anything to the table is because men don't really expect much from women. Honestly, it's getting to the point where men are expecting damn near nothing. And that's okay, because a lot of women aren't providing anything, but they look so damn good that it's like, okay, I'm ignore all of this because I'm gonna just make it work, because I am so caught up by the beauty. And then, you have that realization later, or you just continue to thug it out as a man and be miserable, or you end up cheating. There's all different pathways to go through that. So that loneliness, I would say it did have its impact on me in a bad, but also a good way. I like to take up the positives and the negatives out of every situation, because for me, it just keeps me mentally grounded, keeps me, and then I'm constantly growing as a person, because if I always look at things from a one-sided perspective, I feel like I'm gonna be stuck, I'm gonna be stuck, and I don't want to be stuck. I just realized that I should have been talking to y'all in full screen, just sitting there staring at my wallpaper. My fault. My bad on that one. Just to end off this point of speaking on loneliness, It's something that I wouldn't say everybody has to deal with. Actually, I feel like everyone deals with loneliness sometime, some form or fashion in their lifetime. It may be at an early age, it may be at an older age. But once it finally hits you, it's up to you to determine on how you navigate that loneliness. Will you let it consume you and you go into a state of depression? Or will you elevate and grow from it and just become a better human being overall? And I would say at the beginning, it definitely did consume me. But through my efforts, my mentality, and getting uncomfortable helped me slowly get out of that situation, or slowly get out of that way of thinking. And it's helped me a lot. And like I say, we're gonna keep moving forward, taking it one day at a time. Feel like things are really going well for me right now, and I think that's also a benefit as well. And I think they'll continue to go well as long as I had the right mindset and not move based off emotion. So, which has never been me, but I realized most major mistakes I made in my life is because I was moving off emotion instead of logic. And that just goes to show men are just not cut out to be moving like that. That's not us. We're meant to move more on a logical basis. But yeah, don't get stuck in that state. You got it. If you are feeling something along those lines or similar at state, don't be afraid to get help. If you are hesitant to get help, then help yourself by taking a step out of your comfort zone, getting out of the house, especially if you're an introverted person. Get out the house. If you're lonely on the aspect of friendship, go make some new friends. If you're lonely on the aspect of dating, I'd say look within and be comfortable being by yourself, because you being lonely just because you can't find a partner, you go out there more desperate. And when you go out there desperate in this dating game, you get taken advantage of, man or woman. You never want to go into the dating game desperate. You want to go into the dating game confident, grounded, and you know who you are and where you stand. Because if you don't have those, I'm telling you, they're gonna play with you like you're an instrument, and nobody wants to get played with, especially when emotions get involved. But I'm gonna leave my little yap session right there. I'm definitely curious to hear, read, see if anybody else is going through something similar, or if you're not going through something similar, did you go through it? Did you overcome it? Or are you still dealing with it till this day? I would love to hear y'all thoughts. But I'm gonna end it off right there. Definitely appreciate y'all pulling up to the video. Take it easy.